Board of Mayor and Aldermen to order at this time. Can you call roll for the
Mr. Glenn Smith.
Here.
Miss Heatherly.
Here.
Mr. Lawson.
Here.
Miss Crawford.
Here.
Alan Smith.
Here.
Mark Stanley.
Here.
Mayor Stanley.
Here. Open up prayer. Let's bow our heads. Gracious Heavenly Father, we're thankful, dear Lord, that you've been merciful to us, and we pray, dear Father, for those that are having a hard time during this cold weather snap, and we pray for those that are hungry, Lord, and pray for our county and our city and our state, for the United States, Lord. We pray for those that are not as fortunate as us. We ask that you shine down upon them and let your goodness shine out in us, and bless our town, Lord, and let us be about your business. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. Citizens input. Do the approval of the December minutes. Everybody had time to run over the meetings. Can we get a motion to accept them as they read?
Motion made, accept the minutes as read.
Second motion.
Second the motion. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Mr. Glenn Smith.
Yes.
Miss Heatherly.
Yes.
Mr. Lawson.
Yes.
Miss Crawford.
Yes.
Alan Smith.
Yes.
Mark Stanley.
Yes.
Mayor Stanley.
Yes. Brings us to our financial report to be read this time.
General fund, $313,342.65. State Street Aid Fund is $46,918.81. Industrial Fund, $1,200.68. Drug Fund, $6,865.23, for a total of $368,327.38. The revenue for the month was $95,446.57. Expenditures are $108,108.12. The difference of $11,338.45.
All right. Heard the financial report as it reads. Can we get a motion to accept it as it reads?
I make a motion to accept it as read.
Motion made to accept it. Can we get a second?
Second.
Second the motion. Any discussion on this?
Do we have a breakdown on how much we're taking in the liquor stores and the new motel?
On this report, not on this report, but I mean, we can get Tammy to
Maybe
pull it for us. We can get Tammy to pull it for us.
I mean, is it staying pretty much like it was last year? Is it down? Is it up?
Well, this newest one has kind of taken a little bit of off the one on the hill. So they kind of balanced themselves out. But I think it's been, pretty steady as far as that goes. But, Tammy, I think she might try to be here Friday, maybe. We can ask her to pull that together for us and give us an idea of where we're headed. A little bit more in detail.
That's the motel you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are the liquor stores staying pretty much even keeled?
far as I know.
She's got up-to-date figures, but I don't have them.
All right. Any other discussion? If not, call roll.
Mr. Glenn Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Heatherly.
Yes.
Mr. Lawson.
Yes.
Ms. Crawford. Alan Smith.
Yes.
Mark Stanley.
Yes.
Mayor Stanley.
Yes. Robin is not here. She can't give the library report. She's sick, so will not be the library report tonight. Communication from the mayor. We're still, Frank Wallace did meet with T-Dot on the road up in the industrial park, and they're hoping to start that in the spring. And so I think we're all looking forward to that. And just a couple notes. I want to say a big thank you to the street department for your work during the rough times that we had here in the snow and ice and everything. He's done a great job on that, and also the fire department was out early this morning, so appreciate the guys that went out on that too. And I know that it's been a busy month, and we appreciate that work that you are doing. That's all I have. Do we have anything for old business? New business. Oh, sorry. I missed it, and I checked it off. I guess you guys want to give that right. All right. I guess you're doing commission. All right, commissioners report. Glenn, you want to start us off?
I'll start off. I don't have anything for the planning commission. We didn't meet this month because of the weather conditions that was at the time was bad, and we will be meeting first Thursday in February. We've got a couple projects coming up that we will be bringing those for the board, and so we're working. I know Laura today was working on a project up there that we will have to get approval of. It's going to be beneficial to the town when it gets approved up. And another thing I've got is from the utility, where they paid us rent this month is $510.05 to rent this month on just a pressure set down here in the pump station down there. So it's running about $500 a month on this on a rent on this month. That's really helping us out a lot.
Oh, yeah, that helps out a lot.
But that's about all I've got right now. Oh, one other thing that we're going to have to get a building inspector, because our building inspector resigned as of December 31st. So we'll have to get a building inspector.
Yeah. And he's retired.
Yeah. He just decided if he wanted to take it easy for a while.
He's been hanging around you too long.
I guess so.
Retired.
That's all I got.
Thank you very much. Ms. Vicky. No. Lord.
For the month of December and January, we had 60 tons of garbage, 6 tons of recycling, 4 tons of brush, 3 tons of leaves. Total for the year ending of 2013, garbage was 592 tons, recycle was 54 tons, brush was 61 tons, leaves was 10 tons, and the April cleanup was 19 tons. Picked up brush throughout the city, picked up leaves throughout the city, patched potholes throughout the city, put up Christmas flags on Main Street, digging blind spots off on Bruce Gap Road. We're waiting on the electric department and AT&T to move their lines in that pole so we can finish that job. And cut overhanging limbs throughout the city, and marked and called in street lights that were out, and called out 2 times for soft roads.
Okay. Well, it's been a busy month for those guys. They're doing some good work.
Yeah, I
Get
think
a lot of
we're
good compliments too.
doing an excellent job on there. And once we get those blind spots off, it's going to make it a lot better. And get them ditches rock lined so they won't look smashed and swampy.
They look good.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones you did there, they look
It'll
good.
look good. I think the guys doing a good job.
Yeah. Police department, we had 400 complaints, 5 arrests, 15 escorts, 21 citations. 6,500 miles patrolled, no drug arrest, 17 accidents, and 2 DUI arrests. So, looks like complaints was up a little bit this past in December, but drug arrests were down, so that was good. And we appreciate the police department and all the work they're doing and putting into. Lisa? Alan?
From December the 8th to January the 12th, auto accident with injury, we had 12 men, 2 hours. Auto accidents without injury, 14 men, 2.5 hours. Brush fire, we had 3 men, 1 hour. Chemical leak, we had 9 men, 2.5 hours. House fire without injury, 9 men, 1 hour. Assisted EMS twice, 5 men, 1 hour. Assisted police department once, 7 men, a half hour. And fire alarm, we had 10 men, 2 hours. Set up landing zone twice, 9 men, 1 hour. Total calls was 16, total men was 78, and total man hours was 131. And on the hydrant fee, we collected $2,931.48 for the month.
901.
31.48.
Mark, anything on Parks and Rec?
No, just fence later.
All right, new business, asked Gwen Brown to come and speak with us about the grant, the home grant.
Thank you for allowing me to come before council. I have with me a person who works with me, Chris Olgetz. He's a planner in our office, has a master's degree in planning from the University of Tennessee, and he's been with us for 3 years. Thank you again for this opportunity to come to you and talk about some of the grant programs. But before I start, I want to tell you that we have closed out the Scenic Circle water storage tank project. Closeout package has been submitted to Nashville, and the final payment test is in Nashville being processed. So that project's completely closed out, and there will be no interference of this project with the next grant application. The home program, and for the last 2 years, the state did not have a home program funded because of limited funding and getting things through Congress for approval. So what they're doing this year is allocating 2012 and 2013 funds for 2014 funding of applications. On the 17th of this month, they're going to have a webinar to discuss the program application. That's the 27th. The applications are going to be available on the 17th. And we're going to go ahead and pull those down. But on the 22nd of January, they're going to have a webinar to discuss the program requirements, go through the application. And one of the things that we know that they're no longer going to be doing new construction. It's going to be rehabilitation with a minimum of $40,000. That's good in some ways in that if there's a need for bringing houses up to code within that $40,000 range, that's good. But if people's homes are severely substandard, they won't be able to participate. Unless they change between now and the 17th, Thursday, that's the plan for the home program. The applications for the home programs will be due on March the 7th. And I know that you all have participated in the home program every year that you were able to participate. So I'm here to ask if you would still consider participating and submitting an application come March the 2nd. Okay.
I think so. I think everybody's for that. I know you've got a couple, or more than a couple, of homes built, and you've also done, I don't see a reason why we would participate in it.
And there's no cost to the city. other than, I think there might be a payment for the notice to go in the paper, but it's minimal. All the administrative inspection fees come out of the home program, so it still operates the same. There's no local match.
It's a good program. I've seen it firsthand, and they do an excellent work.
Yeah.
And I think we should go ahead and apply for this.
Is that something we have to vote on, or does it have to be put in?
We have to vote
Just
on
got
it.
to vote on that. So,
You wanna go ahead, or
You
you
wanna go ahead
wanna
and
talk
finish
about
up?
the other one,
Yeah.
and then we'll,
The next round of applications for the Community Development Block Grant is February the 28th, 2014. Like I said, you are now in a position to apply for another grant. There was a public meeting held on last Thursday to discuss the various projects that are eligible under Community Development Block Program. And some of those, we've done the water sewer lines, storage tanks, and sewer line extensions, water line extensions, and our upgrades. There's also a category that the city of Caryville has not participated in, and that's community livability. And under that program, there are various activities that you can apply for meeting the requirement. Some of the ones discussed in the public meeting were a new fire hall, extending sidewalks, roadway improvements and paving. We did discuss housing and some of and water and sewer, but those were primarily the focus of the discussion. So what I'm here to ask tonight, we have until February 28th, that if you would authorize to work on your behalf, Mr. Franklin Wallace, to be your sponsor in trying to get through this process of narrowing the scope of the work that has to, the scope of a project that has to be done with your input during that process, to go through the whole process of meeting the requirements for the 28th of February application submission timeframe. And that's going to entail conducting a survey of the citizens to determine LMI status, because all projects have to meet 51% LMI. And so we'd have to do that.
I sat in on the meeting with Ms. Brown here and stuff, and it's gonna be a short time frame to get everything together. I mean, we don't really have that, we only got about 6 weeks to get a lot of stuff together, and Frank's gonna be working a lot of time to get this together, and I think we should go ahead and get the authorization now to start this process, because we're gonna miss this deadline if we don't.
Yeah, and then we'll come back for your February 10th meeting, and ask you to pass a resolution authorizing the local share of whatever the project's gonna be at that time. But you'll know what the project is long before that.
all right. Okay, so we got two things, we want to put in a motion to accept the first one and then go on to the second. You're gonna put them on the same one.
I just put them on the same one, I think.
Alright.
go ahead, man.
I'll make a motion that we approve, give on these two grants to start the process for it.
I'll second that.
Well, could we add and authorize Mr. Franklin?
Mr.
Yeah,
Franklin.
I think that was just
Back to the
understood,
Utilities
yeah.
Commission to act on your behalf to keep the process moving until we
Yeah.
come back in
Yeah,
February
we need,
Yeah,
on the CDBG program.
yeah. You want to amend it, or?
I'll need to get Frank to do the CDBG grant, let Frank, be the mediator to start the process on that.
Okay.
I'll second that then.
All right. All right, call, see, any discussion on that?
It's gonna be a good grant. I mean, if we can qualify for it, it's very little that we'll have to pay,
Yeah,
and
for the return.
for the return that we'll be getting. And then on the housing grant, rehabilitation.
Oh, yeah.
It's unreal what they do.
It's really, well, there's been, I don't know how many houses that you built here in this community, but it's been a lot. And they're nice. They're really
Either
nice.
build or rehab.
Yeah.
I mean, I came to work here in '78 when I was a child.
Exactly.
And we did a lot of just total rehab projects of the community development area, the Bruce's Gap area, the area over here near Main Street. We did that area. And then the home program, we've worked in that program since 1984 when it started, so every other year, so.
It's really been a big help.
It's been a big help.
Very good program.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Lots of families.
Mhm. Yeah. A lot of benefits from it, absolutely. All right, any other discussion? Call roll, please. Thank you,
Mr.
Gwen.
Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Heatherly.
Yes.
Mr. Lawson.
Yes.
Ms. Crawford. Alan Smith.
Yes.
Mark Stanley.
Yes.
Mayor Stanley.
Yes. All right, discussion of the rainy day fund. We said that we would visit this again, and here we are. So, anybody want to open up or talk about it? Or?
I just think it's a great idea that we put a little bit back, just in a set-aside fund. We don't have to put it in a CD or anything. The rates are down right now, we can put it in a set-aside account, whatever the pleasure the board is. Just so it's there, if we have hard times, we can always come back if we need it and use it. If we all vote, the majority of the vote gets it. It's just, so we don't just dwindle down, because it's easy to do that sometimes when you get big projects going or whatever, so. I just know in the past, if we had had it, we were in bad shape, but it would have had us suffering more so.
I think we can set it some aside, but just don't put it in CD because the rates are too low. Let's keep it in the budget, and let's make it a separate item. And also, let's make it a super majority that you got to be a super majority for it to be spent. Not just a simple majority, a super majority, which be at least six votes. That way, the money will always be there, but it can't be spent till at least 6 members of this board agrees to it. Because right now, we've got to, like you said, we've got some funds to put back. Let's start putting a little bit of it back
Yeah.
and build this back up.
I think we ought to put some money back in the rainy day fund, but I also think we ought to do what Mark suggested, pay the building amount.
I think Pat had a breakdown of the, I ain't got mine. Do you know how?
You have your
Yeah,
breakdown?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the breakdown of the deal.
That's mine.
No, I just borrowed it. Here.
We can get it.
Which one is the
I think the top one.
We have $11,063.
11,000?
Yeah, I think we ought to pay that out and save us a little money there, and then plus some money back in rainy day
I
fund.
just paid like
I
1,000.
think that's what we need to do.
So
They
it's
just
actually
did it.
down to maybe
Like
10.
something.
And keep these going, because these will be paid off later.
Yeah, we got 3 that'll come off at the end of hopefully by the end of the year. And then barring that we don't have any other major thing that we're having to borrow for, then we're just gonna be left with, the lighting project. That's all we're gonna owe. I think if you can do that, you're gonna free up another $10,000.
Yeah.
Annually. So really, it's actually like you're kind of putting 20,000 in a rainy day fund. If you put 10 and then you pay that and then you take that back into it, that's a pretty good start, for the first of this year. And if you want to look at it again halfway through or something like that, I don't know. It's just my thought.
We took that, start with that, maybe 10 right now, and then June, maybe July, look at it again and pay this building off, get the building paid off. Because I think the building needs to be paid off. It's went almost 40 years and we're still paying on it.
Yeah.
And
What's the interest rate on that? I know it's $803 interest.
That's just
for the
annual.
next-
It's just
It's
annual.
$803 interest for the next 3 years, right? 4 years, so June 2017. So it's pretty cheap.
I think
It's the cheapest thing we got.
Yeah, interest
But
this
it's
year.
the second longest loan that we got too. So,
So how much were you saying?
well, we can pay this off. says 11,000. If they want, or whatever, then everybody agrees to 10 or whatever.
Yeah. So you're saying like 50/50, pay that off, and Pat says we owe back 10 or it's back 10 now because we made a payment, so you'd make 10,000 rainy day fund and then pay the building off, which would be about 10,000 more.
Then in July,
Okay, and then
put
look at it
another
again in
10 or
July.
20 into July in it.
In July budget.
Yeah, in July budget. And make this a separate fund that we cannot touch.
Okay.
That's the way I looked at it. 'Cause I don't want to take all the money that we've got and get it tied up, but we can't. If we do get, because starting next month, you're gonna see the revenues come way down.
Yeah.
And February and March, you're gonna see the revenues go down. You know, we're in the plus this month, that's because December, people traveling, but actually, the Christmas travel was over with.
It drops off.
It drops off, and if anybody's been here long enough,
When does it normally pick back up?
it's about April, May.
April.
I
April.
didn't know.
Sometimes when
It's
we
March.
slide and something, the
Or
mountainside holds up. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it just depends, but for sure, we could look at it again. We didn't put anything in the budget this year, and I know that, but we could look at it again, start here, and then look at it this next budget and build from there also. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I was thinking, starting
and
this-
building to it.
Because everybody, as y'all know, that I've been for a rainy day fund,
Yeah.
Vicky knows that I have, and everybody has. But since we spent the money, I think we should start, but we need
Put
to
it
start
back.
gradually putting it back
Yeah.
in there. Because I mean, we went 2 years without putting any money back in there. We need to start putting it back. I don't want to lock in the CD, because we locked in the CD the last time,
Right.
and we had to pay penalties because we pulled it out.
Mm.
There's no need to put it in there. We should be getting about the same amount of interest on our checking account as we do with a CD.
Mhm.
And so, if money's always gonna be there, you're just gonna take a vote of the council to get it.
CD, I checked on, they're only paying 1/4%.
And they're very low.
Yeah. And if you add this 10 or 11,000 for the building and 10,000, but that's $20,000 back there. Same as putting $20,000 back. And if we do this again back in July during the budget, I think that'll be a good start.
And then we can look again in July and see, you know, if we put more in there, that'd be great. Without compromising our expenditures, I stuff, because I think that because, you know, if we get this grant coming up here, we're gonna have to match that, that's gonna be
Right.
close to 35, what do we have to spend
Is
out?
that what it is?
Yeah, it's about, I think, well, Tim, Michelle, when?
Well, to match a 330, the grant rate is 89%, and it's at $300,000, and so 11% of that, we were estimating about $35,000-$36,000.
So we need to keep money, make sure we got money aside for that, to pay for that coming
Right.
up. And we don't get caught, we don't have the money to pay for this grant that's coming up here. And that's my take on it.
Well, it's a good starting point, and then we'll just go from there and, you know.
I'd like to see us put a little more than that in the general. I mean, we have $313,342.65 in the general fund. We've never had that much money in the general fund. I think while we've got some money, I'd like to put more than just $10,000 in, because if you had an emergency come up, $10,000 is not gonna go very far. And, I mean, if we get our bills down, you know, like you said, we're gonna have more money coming in anyway. I mean, we've got more money per month anyway. So,
I think you're right. We do have a lot more money than we used to with this council. But I think also, you know, again, going back to, you know, we didn't budget this and we voted on the budget. And I'd like to see us start on the rainy day fund, but the truth is we didn't budget it in the budget. And we knew that when we passed the budget. You know, and I think that it would be better to look at it adding more at the budget time and see what we had. And I think it's a good starting point. You know, I think everybody's in favor of the rainy day fund. And, you know, I think that you're hitting on something there that's true. We have more money there, so the chances of an emergency probably isn't as great as they was under the last circumstances that we was under, you know, and if that be, I think that we could probably project that out now that we are setting on more money. Now, that's just my thought. I think that we're, you know, if we was down where we was with the last administration and it was 100,000 or whatever, I think we would have some concerns, more concerns then than we do now with, you know, putting something back for emergency, because I think we could predict that coming in sooner. I think it's a good starting point, and then I think that we need to look at the budget in the new coming year, and then if we want whatever unions want to put in, it's, you know, fine. Now that, with the paying the building off, that's another 10, this is 10, then we're looking at 30-something, you know, if we get the grant, 30-something thousand more, that's 50. I mean, so I understand both sides, but I think this is I think it's a good starting point, even though I you know, thought that, you know, when we passed the budget, we were supposed to stick by it, but, you know, I think it's a good starting point, and then we can reevaluate it at budget time, and if we want to put more money in it, then we can put more money in it. That's my thoughts on it. Anybody else have any thoughts on it, what unions want to do, or any comfort from this side? You guys got any thoughts? What unions would like to see done?
Well, we did say we were gonna put some in rainy day fund, and we was gonna try to pay something off. So, and we never set an amount. We are trying to do both here,
Right.
and by paying the building off, that's gonna save us, you know, quite a bit of money in interest. Plus, we've got 3 more items that's gonna be paid off this year. So, I think it's a good start myself.
You have any thoughts?
Well, with the 3 bills coming off, I think we should be able to afford to cut a few more dollars in there. You know, pay the building up, put 15, 20,000 into that to start.
You got anything more?
The only reason I was thinking somewhere around 10 is because I know from the bids that we got on the fence, I mean, it's gonna be like $7,500. You know, the building will be about 10, and putting 10 in there, and that's $30,000 we're taking a hit, you know, right tonight. So I just thought that was a pretty decent start, just in my mindset, to put things in perspective. Because you can't always plan, yeah, you know, for things, and you don't know what's going to come up next month. I know it's just that's a lot to take out at one time. If you take more than 30, you know, I mean, if you figure that up, that's a third of what we brought in last month, just on a monthly basis. I mean,
But whatever we put in it, it ain't like we're spending it. It's there, you know, if we
Right.
have to have it.
That's why I say put some over here to designate, and if we have an emergency or whatever we need to purchase, otherwise we do. I know the fence is needed, and I'm not, but we got $7,000 for a fence, and then this department needs something, and then this next thing you know, we've dwindled down before we know it, and.
I guess my thing
But
is,
if we
Vicki, you know, is we put it in there. If we need, we're gonna get it out. I don't really see any different. I mean, I just don't see any difference of what we do
I
any
do.
different if we have it in the rainy day fund or if it's in there. Because if we need it, we're gonna have to get it out just like we did before. That's my thought. You know, when we did it before, we took it out, we spent it. That's why we're sitting here discussing it before. You know, so it's just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I just don't understand that.
Well, we've all got separate opinions on it. Does anybody want to put anything in a motion, try to get a second, try to get it to pass?
I say we put 10,000 in the rainy day fund, pay our building off, whatever that balance is, and then that's a good starting point, I believe, for today. And then we reevaluate it you know, in June or July, whenever the budget is.
Is that with a super majority?
Yeah, yes, like Glenn said, with a super majority of spending that out of the savings that we set aside rainy day fund.
I'll second it, because I'll second it. I'll discuss it.
All right, any discussion?
I think this is a start. I know Vicki would like to see more, and I'd like to see more, but I think at least we've started in there. We've been saying we're going to start, we're getting there, starting it. We've been trying to start for last year, 2 years in.
And we should have already had a lot in there.
Yeah, but
tonight
should have been
we
there.
should have already-
We would, now we've got to start, and we can start building on it and start looking at it. And just with just the super majority, it's going to make it a lot better. That money's going to be locked there. And, because everybody would know then what the money has to be spent. It wasn't, not like it was last time, we come up here, it blindsided us all at one time, and we was all caught on it.
Right.
This way, we won't be blindsided, we'll be caught. That's my thought.
We'll still have the money, we'll still have the money, it just depends on whether it's here or over here.
Right.
Yeah, it's just going to be in a separate category.
Right.
Like, I guess you would say
I guess like
the drug fund and all
industrial
those.
fund, be rainy day fund there.
And then, you know, if interest rates did go up, you know, you could put it into something to where it would grow money, you know, if you wanted to do that.
I don't see that happening for a while.
I don't see why that we couldn't pay the building off and put, say, 15,000 in, and every year at budget, try to put 15 in till we get it back up to, what was it, 60?
Well, it was
Well,
more than
Depends
that,
on-
it went down.
depends on the
Okay.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, at one
Alright.
time it was more than that.
All right, at one time it was, we had about 100, we had about 100
About
at one
100, so.
time.
I mean, I'm for paying off bills too, but that interest is $803 over the next 4 years till 2017, or 3 years and 3.5. You're saving $200 in interest a year is what you're saving in that. So, you're not making a lot of gains there. That's one payment a year, correct?
That's $803 in interest a year.
Per year. Oh, okay, I thought that was over the balance of it.
No.
How much is free?
Yeah,
We
year.
pay interest twice a year,
Okay.
but the payment once a year.
I mean, I'm not so much worried about the interest in paying that off. I mean, I just, you know, want to be able to say that at the end of this year, we got one loan left. You know, I think that's really going to make a big difference. And, you know, if we don't have to purchase anything else that's major, I mean, then we got the interstate lighting project that we're still paying on till 2019.
Right.
Yeah.
And as a city, you're gonna always have some kind of debt.
You
I mean,
are.
that's the
Yeah, you-
tax. I mean,
But 1979, and we're still paying on it?
it's because we have such low interest.
That's-
Well, now the interest is actually more than the return.
Right.
So even if you put that money
Well, I'm
in the
not
CD,
against paying it off.
yeah, I'm just saying.
Paying it off. I'd just like to put more in the rainy day fund. I mean, since the money's there now.
All right, I think we pretty much hit it from every angle. Call roll, please.
Mr. Glenn Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Heatherly,
No?
Mr. Lawson,
Yes.
Ms. Crawford,
Yes.
Alan Smith,
No.
Mark Stanley,
Yes.
Mayor Stanley.
Yes. All right. So we'll just put that in a separate account. Pay the building off. Okay. All right, here we go. On the council to declare the fire department sports unit a surplus vehicle. Eddie, Alan,
That's the truck that we replaced, and in order to get rid of it, we have to declare it surplus. And if it's the pleasure of the council, I'd like to do that and donate it to the sheriff's department. Their SWAT team's in need of it.
Reed, are we allowed to just donate that, or do we have to, like, sell it for $1, or how does that work?
If it's going to an entity like the sheriff's department, you can donate that. That's, the state encourages cooperation between local governments, so Eddie's right, you have to first declare it as surplus. We have to declare that it's not needed by us, but we can certainly donate it to the county if they need it.
I had a thought on that, Eddie. I think that's a pretty good idea, swapping that and giving it to the county for swap. I think is what somebody said. Do you know what they're gonna be using it for?
What I understand is the SWAT.
Okay, so you know that. Okay.
I think
Okay,
Albert's been one talking to them.
yeah,
If I ain't mistaken, they've got a patrol car that not using it anymore, that they can put parts on and put on the road down here. I don't know if that's still true or not.
well, I didn't know that we were doing all this till Friday. Nobody told me anything about it, but, so I did have, Stephanie check in on the, police car, and she went up there and checked it out and said that it was a pretty fair police car. I think it's got 150,000 miles on it. But that they was gonna give that to us, even before they got the fire truck. So it wasn't really like a swap as I originally had heard it on Friday. My thought is, and this is just, throwing it out there, I don't know, all of you guys are volunteers and you know how hard it is to get something for your department. I'm wondering if, and I don't know, not that the county couldn't use it, because I'm sure they could use it too. But my suggestion is to check and see. I think it'd be good if we would check with the smaller volunteer fire departments, like Stony Ford, Ridgewood, some of them places, and just see if they wanted it. And then if they don't want it, then donate it to the county. I don't know if they could use it, but that's just a thought that I had about it, that it might help them. I don't know. I don't know what they have, what they need, but it might be something that, I know that they do fund drives down here, and they don't have a whole lot of equipment. My understanding, some of them do fundraisers. Would that be okay to check with the local ones here around us and see if they could use that? And then if not, then give it to the sheriff's department?
Alright. Whatever y'all decide, it's fine with me.
Are you okay with that, or?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we've actually struck a deal with the county on that yet or not. Does anybody know?
Albert been talking to them and everything, they was, kind of waiting on your all's decision.
Well, I would be willing to declare it a surplus vehicle if would you do that and see if some of the smaller fire departments might be able to use it? And if not, then we can give it to the sheriff's department for SWAT. We need both volunteer firemen and SWAT.
I'll ask and see.
All
I
right.
say make a motion to declare fire department sport utility as surplus, and then put it on there next month to come back and decide what we're going to do with it. That way it gets him time checked,
Is that okay with you, Eddie?
but let's go ahead and declare it sport.
Are you okay with that,
as
Alan?
surplus.
I'll second that.
Okay,
Yeah.
second the motion. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Mr. Glenn Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Heatherly.
Yes.
Mr. Lawson,
Yes.
Ms. Crawford, Alan Smith, Mark Stanley.
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Stanley.
Yes, ma'am. All right, discussion paving on Elkins Road.
Okay, on the school road, or Elkins Road there, I would like to, I'm working on trying to get some money from the county to pave that road. And it's looking pretty good as of this point.
Yeah.
And the money they're gonna give us, what I'd like to do is go ahead and get this road out. Put it out for bids.
Okay.
We don't have to accept it right now, but we're gonna get it out for bids. And once we get it out for bids, how long does that lock that in for, David? Is it
1 year.
1 year?
1 year.
Okay. So that way the price will go up. If we do get the money from the county, at least we'll have it locked in at that price.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make a motion that we, get the Elkins Road bidded out for repaving.
Okay. Motion is on the floor to get it bidded out for paving.
I'll second that motion.
Second the motion, discussion.
I got a question. Lord, how far, where are you gonna start it and end it at?
It's gonna start at the cupboards off the
Bridge.
Okay.
Bridge, all the way to Better Neck
I'll wait better next, it's four-way there?
at the church.
Okay.
And, like I say, I'm still working on trying to get that money, but
So you're about
it's looking pretty good.
about a mile and a half there?
A little bit farther than a mile, I guess, there, just a little bit more than a mile. Just, not that much farther, just farther than a mile.
Is that just paving or is that any sidewalks?
No, that's just paving, paving and widening the road and, stripes.
We need to.
Yeah, it needs it. I mean, absolutely. This is, and I think we've got some commissioners up there that trying to help us, that's working with us, so.
See, the commission got money to do paving with, and they're breaking it up into each district.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, they'll probably vote on it tonight whether to give us this money or not.
Yeah.
So I'll know this week,
Okay.
tomorrow.
When we do, if we get that money, we decide to do that, is there a possibility to look at, I don't know, maybe putting some kind of safety stuff in front of them? We've never had anything in front of the school there, not necessarily like speed bumps, but something, to help keep that down some.
I would really like to get some crosswalks in there and
Mhm.
caution lights and all that stuff. And I got one of the commissioners working on that.
Okay, good.
And I got one of the school board members working on that.
Sounds good.
Sure do.
Good.
I don't know what it's gonna turn out to be, but
Yeah.
they're looking at it.
Well, it's much needed, and it's probably a project that should have been done when the school was built.
They
I mean,
should've- they should've-
the road was damaged,
Yes.
it was left that way, and it's been tough, I mean, you go back and repatch it, and it's done a good job at that, but, I mean, at the end of the day, that just lasts so long. But it should have been repaved when they built that school.
This should have been added in to the contract of the school.
All right, we got, did you put that?
I did, and I think we got a second.
Give you a second.
Any other discussion? Okay, call roll, please.
Mr. Glenn Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Heatherly?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Ms. Crawford?
Yes.
Alan Smith?
Yes.
Martin Stengel?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Stanley?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And discuss the bids on the fence at Asbury Park.
I tried to put two bids on one sheet here. I hope it ain't too cumbersome. And then I also tried to put them in there as the order of the bid, the price. And so half the sheet, as you look at like this, that's bid one, bid two. Bid one, I put it first because it really doesn't even fit what we wanted. It's only got one drive gate, double drive gate, as you can see on the sketch there. And they still put the two gates that we said we didn't even need. So that first one doesn't even really meet what we asked of having two drive gates. The other three, which is 2, 3, and 4, as you can see, has the dimensions. It tells exactly what we asked for, the double gates. This quote 2 is $68.24, and now a lot of these places are asking for most of the time they'll ask for half of it up front to get started for their material, so keep that in mind. And so 9824, bid number 2, bid number 3, I'm sorry. First, when they put the bid in, it was at $6327.51. And that was out without the removal of the fence. So you had to add an additional $643.74. And so that, me and Pat added that up and it was $69.71.25. That's bid number 3. And the last one is bid number 4. And you can see it's $74.75. So that's the 3 bids that we looked at. We felt qualified for what we asked. And asked what's the pleasure of the council?
Is this a heavy gauge fencing or is
Yes, it's a 9.
that what we got over now?
I think what we had done before was 11, but
A little bit heavier.
this is a little bit heavier than what we got over there now.
Yeah, mine's commercial grade.
I really don't think that's commercial that we had over there, is it, David? So that's what we said. See, originally they bid it at. They actually gave me some bids when I got the part to get fixed, but everybody had put in 11 gauge. And I said, well, if we go back, let's go back with something a little bit stronger. That's why we asked for specifically 9 gauge.
It needs a heavy gauge over there.
Yeah.
Because that fence, that's the reason I was asking what gauge it was. Who is these quotes from? I fixed them on my sheet.
I've got, no, not there. I've got 4 quotes. I've got Pioneer Fencing, Meredith Fencing, and I've got Lowe's, and then I've also got, I'm trying to think of what the last one is. Pat's got them in there in the office, but I just took their names off of it because I didn't see any reason of having it on there. If it was going to be closed bid.
Are they all good, or, like?
They're all fencing companies. Like I
But
said,
the one doesn't meet the requirements because it's got 1 gate, right?
the first one does not. It's only got a 14-foot gate that we asked for. We asked for 2 doubles. And we also asked for those side gates. We didn't need them. So that first bid doesn't even actually meet what we asked for. And plus, it is actually more expensive than the first actual bid.
But they're all
They are all
fencing companies
fencing companies, yes.
around here, county.
Yes, in the county.
They're all licensed, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the first page is 68, right?
6824.
That looks like the best. What?
It is a bid that I'm
Yeah. That's just yeah, I get it.
The way that when I talk to them, I think their warranty is, for like maybe a year. After that, it's not going to be for longer than that. That's basically as long as you're going to get as far as putting the material up. Now, this one says 10-year on material, but most time it ain't really material that you have a problem with. It's the labor and the post and where they put that stuff. So.
Well, I'll make a motion that we go with this first one here, the 6824. That's the motion on the floor. Second. It's the cheapest one. Anyone second?
I'll second it.
Second the motion. All right, discussion.
Now, is this, all these, is it still 9 gauge? wide?
Yes,
Okay.
all of them is the same.
All of them
And they're
across the
all,
board.
they're all 6 foot.
Yes, that's
Exact
yeah.
dimensions on all of them.
Yes.
Post size looks like they're the same.
Yeah, post size. We kind of to have that commercial grade on that. That's kind of what you got to have. If you got it on the lower one, then you're just going to write it down eventually because of the heavier weight.
I was looking at the footage on here, one of them's got 515, one's got 540, and the one we're looking at 550, so it's gonna get in a better deal too.
That's my good.
I mean, you're looking at it,
Yeah, one does have 550, one's got 540, and then one of them had put down, two of them actually had the same footage, 550. So, but I do appreciate David helping me get the bidding process out for that. He kind of was if they had any questions, that they called him and asked him about it. So,
All right, any other discussion on it? Call roll.
You checked all four companies
Hold on a
out?
second.
yes, I did.
Okay.
I've actually talked to
Business.
I've actually talked to them all. That's why that I'm gonna let you decide.
Call roll, please.
Mr. Glenn Smith,
yes.
Miss Heatherly.
Yes.
Mr. Lawson,
Yes.
Miss Crawford. Alan Smith.
Yes.
Mark Stanley.
Pass.
Mayor Stanley.
Yes. All right. So,
So she got the bid.
I don't
I'll
know.
have to look at that paper in there.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
she's got them in the envelope.
Got to shake the hat.
She has.
The guy that had the best deal.
So
Whoever number two is.
Lady or whoever.
Whoever number two is.
That had the best deal.
Before we adjourn,
Yeah.
there was a guy called me this evening about buying some property at 141 and possibly putting in a business. He's gonna get back with us. And so there's a good possibility that there'll be another business going on. He was asking about the road and what we were.
When it was
doing.
going in.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a big draw too. That
yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there.
All right, appreciate that. Anything else come for the council? One other thing, I don't think we have to vote on, we didn't vote on it to change it, but if it's okay with the council, I'd like to, change the meeting time to 6 o'clock. We didn't vote on that before, so it's just easier to, it ain't dark, especially in the winter. Anybody got any objections to it or anything? Okay, and we'll change it to 6 o'clock, from 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock, the monthly business. Anything else come before council, can you get a motion to adjourn for time?
motion made.
Motion has been made, can I have a second? Second the motion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. We have a special call beer board meeting hearing. We'll take a short recess, 5 minutes, then come back.